Hello, friends. First, of course, apologize to be here with you because I have another event in Spain and I can join you to the General Assembly of the FESASS. But I would like also to make a brief summary about the conclusion that we had in the seminar that we realized with FESASS the last year with the control of African swine fever and the high pathogenic avian flu. We have the different roundtables with different experts, and I would like also to share with you the brief notes, and also you can find a small presentation with this conclusion. Talking about the human risk, all the experts have agreed that the most important thing is the awareness. Awareness not only with the professionals, also with the public, also with the consumer, how to try to inform to the others to be careful in the transmission of the disease. So also in this aspect is so much important to training and also the information in different language to be sure that all the people understand what is the things that we have to do to try to prevent the spread of the disease. One sentence that is important for me in this first panel, that is, you are responsible, everyone is responsible. Other aspect is when we are talking about the management of the wildlife factors, where the surveillance and also the early detection are the key factor. Biosecurity also for hunters, and also what is the rules that we have as the farmers, as hunters, with the administrations in try to control all the factor in the try to avoid the spread in the wildlife. In this roundtable, it's clear that the cooperation between farmers, between hunters, between landowners, and also the competent authorities is clear to try to avoid the spread of the disease. Another aspect is in the roundtable 3, talking about the surveillance. The surveillance, the most important is to try to convince to the farmer that is needed to report. The early detection starting with a clear report, and then we can make an investigation of the outbreak, or maybe not the outbreak, but at the end it's clear that we need to have some kind of surveillance, active, passive surveillance, and also in some species that they have more controls, we can implementing the syndromic surveillance. All the stakeholders have to collaborate, and the best tool on the field that we have to control the surveillance at farm levels are the veterinarians. Another aspect in the farm is the biosecurity. Is needed guidelines to have clear what is the minimum requirements in biosecurity, what needs in a farm. We have to try to be something of a mandatory of some clear or minimum requirements, like for example the fences to try to avoid the contact between the wildlife and the farming, the cleaning and disinfection, and also it's a very good tool to have a checking and scoring the level of the biosecurity. One of the best tools that we have is the biocheck developed by the University of Ghent. That is a very good tool to do that. Also, it's very important in the biosecurity the definition of the backyard, to know exactly what is the rule that we have to implement in a regular farm and in a backyard farm. When we are talking about the crisis management, the WOHA international standard, I think the most important clear aspect in this point is the recognition of the international standard, to be sure that the international trade between the product coming from negative area in positive country can be traded for another international. For this reason, we need to have a perfect coordination in all the countries to be clear that the international trade have not any problem. For this reason, there are also two aspects that we can talk in, that is the zoning and the compartmentalization. The zoning is more related with geographical aspect, where the disease is, and the compartmentalization is more related with house boundary, with management, biosecurity practice in the farm level. The other aspect, of course, is the movement between the areas that we have a negative and positive, so and also the impact that they have in the restrictive area. So the compartmentalization and also how we can manage these white areas is the key. For the WOHA, it's clear that the regionalization has to be implemented, and also we need a solution for those farmers that have negative farms in positive area, how can trade this product and also keep the business. In the roundtable 7, we have also the emergency vaccination in avian flu, hepatology avian flu. Unfortunately, in African swine fever is still developing the vaccine, but there are in hepatogenic avian flu there are some tests and some trials that make the possibility to have in the short future a vaccine. There are some examples in several countries, and at the end, vaccination can be an additional tool to control the disease. That is very clear in this roundtable, that the vaccination could be only the one tool, so have to never be alone. The biosecurity has to be a must, and after the biosecurity also we can use the sport. They have a lot of questions about the vaccination related with the international control, but at the beginning, the most important is also to have the possibility to use the vaccination in these animals to control the spread of the disease. Another option to the management of the crisis is the population in the farms. We need a clear guidelines how to make the depopulation, and also how to respect the social expectation about how we are going to kill in the animals. So for sure we are going to need to respect the animal welfare in the killing of the animals, and also the epidemiological protection to try to avoid the spread of the disease with the carcass of these animals. It's needed also to work with the NGOs, because they need to understand how is needed to try to protect the spread of the disease, control the spread of the disease, because we need to kill in the animals. So the prevention killing the animals is a small spend of money, and also can be have a very high impact in the protection of the spread of the disease. Last but not least, the money aspect, the budget. Of course, all these controls and all the prevention and the pay for the cooling of the animals has to be paid. Right now there are huge also concern in the European Union regarding the reduction of the budget for the European Commissions, and the reallocation of this budget between the member state and also the Commission. But at the end, if we have not enough money and the farmers have not sure that they are going to receive the money for killing the animals, we are going to have a very bottlenecks in the control of the disease. So for this reason, it's clear that we need the funds to control and also eradicate the disease. This was, in only 5 minutes, the conclusions of this fantastic seminar that FESASS made about hepatogenic avian flu and African swine fever. I think you have all the information also in the presentation, and other times apologize don't be there with you, and I hope you have a fantastic assembly, and see you soon.